Hello, my name is Samuel Kim. I'm a PhD candidate at Queen's University under the supervision of Dr. Wendy Craig. I'm here to talk about how we can promote healthy relationships and prevent racial bullying in the broader context of the COVID-19 pandemic. We think that these key points will help you identify bullying and differentiate it from more common aggressive behaviors. So bullying behavior is a behavior that is intended to harm the other person in the context of a relationship where there is a power imbalance. Aggression and power imbalance are the core attributes that are always present in bullying. Bullying also is likely to repeat. Bullying often is an issue that is not just a one-time experience, but is likely to happen over time and is likely to be repeated. Bullying also causes harm to those who experience the bullying victimization. And harm can take many forms, including physical, psychological, social, academic, or even property harm. A power imbalance within a peer relationship can occur as a result of several factors. Now, if power is used to perpetuate harm, it is an abuse of power. When it comes to peer relationships, power can be held because of numerous characteristics. For example, socioeconomic status, number of friends, gender, age, ability, appearance, popularity. Race and ethnicity is just one of those many factors in which a power imbalance can form. Power imbalances can be perpetuated just by group membership. And in the context of the coronavirus pandemic, there has been an imbalance of power that has placed Chinese children and East Asian children in general in positions of lower power, just because of their perceived association with the coronavirus or China. Now, bullying is different than teasing. It is important for parents and educators to be aware of what the differences are between teasing, which can be positive, versus bullying, which is always a negative experience that is harmful. When trying to distinguish between teasing and bullying, it is important to ask these 5 questions. Number 1, is the behavior reciprocated? Bullying is not usually reciprocated. There is clearly someone who is engaging in the bullying behavior and someone who is being victimized. Teasing involves a back and forth between individuals and is shared equally. The second question is, do both people look like they are having a good time? Usually, teasing happens within an already existing positive relationship where both people are sharing in the teasing experience. On the other hand, bullying is one-sided. The child who is being targeted is in distress and experiencing harm from someone else who is using their power in an abusive way. Third question, is the behavior fun? Teasing can be fun and enjoyable for both people who are engaged in it. It should be playful and positive. On the other hand, bullying is a negative experience where someone intentionally causes others to be afraid and hurt. It is not a positive experience. The fourth question is, has this happened before with these individuals? Teasing tends to happen within relationships that are already strong and where people are familiar with each other. Bullying also tends to happen repeatedly within relationships. So yes, both teasing and bullying can happen over time repeatedly. The fifth and most important question is there a power differential? A key difference between bullying and teasing is that when people are engaging in teasing, there is no power differential. Teasing is used to demonstrate closeness and affection between two equally powerful individuals. Teasing is a way to increase our bond with others and positively interact in a playful way. On the other hand, in bullying, there's always a power imbalance. This power is abused in order to harm others. So parents and teachers can ask these 5 questions to check whether or not we should be concerned about a child being bullied or engaging in bullying behaviors. To recap, racial bullying is never fun, it can be repeated, and it always causes harm to the child being targeted. It always involves a power imbalance between children. When we review different ways that bullying can occur, we see that bullying can happen in a physical manner, involving kicking, hitting, shoving, damaging property. It can be verbal, such as name calling, mocking, making hurtful comments. It can be nonverbal, either humiliating someone, making gestures. It can be social, by excluding others, damaging friendships on purpose, spreading false lies or rumors or secrets. It could also be bias-based. So bullying can happen because people are treating others with disrespect based on some sort of identity. So whether that is because of gender identity, sexual identity, appearance, disability, ethnicity, or cultural identity, bias-based bullying is about treating others differently or with disrespect because of these core features about them. Bullying can also happen electronically, using email, social media, text messages to cyberbully others. So when we talk about racial bullying, we think about racial bullying as one form of bias-based bullying, targeting someone for who they are or their identity. It is about targeting someone because of their core cultural and racial identity. And racial bullying can take on these different forms. It can happen physically, it can happen verbally, it can happen socially, and it could also be perpetuated electronically. So it's important to keep an eye out for how racial bullying can be engaged or how it can be perpetuated through all these different sorts of means. When we want to define racial bullying, we can define it as a set of aggressive behaviors that harm others based on racial and cultural differences. And racial bullying happens in a context where there is a power imbalance. And this power is used to harm others' sense of cultural or racial identity. Some examples of how power can be used to cause others' sense of cultural and racial identity to experience harm is by saying bad, negative, hurtful things about a cultural group, calling someone racist names, telling racist jokes, or perpetuating negative stereotypes. The COVID-19 situation has created an environment where Chinese or other East Asian appearing youth can be more easily targeted by racial bullying. The pandemic has clearly associated Chinese youth with the COVID-19 virus and identified them as being the outsider group, as being responsible for what is happening in the world. This has set the stage for racial bullying and discrimination and negative stereotypes to happen. So in the context of COVID-19, racial bullying may involve saying negative and hurtful things about China, Chinese culture, Chinese individuals, negatively associating East Asian youth to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, or perpetuating negative stereotypes about China, Chinese culture, or other East Asian nations or their cultures.